Hello. It is Takesha again. A bit earlier, I did a video about comparing yourself, and I just wanted to throw some scripture in there. So I'm going to be looking down because I wrote it down. So it's Galatians 6, 3, and 5. And it reads, "If anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Each one should test his own actions. Then he can take pride in himself without comparing himself to someone else. For each one should carry his own load." And I just want to talk about those scriptures, Galatians 6 through 5, for a second. And I take it as you have to worry about you. You can't look at anyone else and what they have going on. Because for the people that post on it, and not everyone is fake news, but there are some people that just post for the sake of wanting to look a certain way they really are not. And that is why you can't look at everything on the internet and in newspapers and on TV all the time and look at other people's lives and be like, dang, I just have nothing going on for me, I'm such a loser, or whatever you may say. You are not those negative things and those negative terms. You're not those things. You are where you are because that is where you are. Each person's start is different from everyone else. If today is the day for you to say, I'm sick of this, I want to live a different life, I want better for myself, then guess what? Start today. Don't look at anyone else and think about, woe is me, and I could have this, and I can have that, and don't do the blaming. Don't blame your mom, your dad, your uncle, sister, whatever issues, whatever things that may have happened to you in your past. Don't blame those things for your future. If you would like to blame those things for your future, blame those things about the fact that they push you to be the best person that you're supposed to be. That's when you can look back and say, hey, those troubles, those trials, those tribulations, those things had me here at first. But then I thought about them and thought about, like, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, I can do that. That's when you elevate yourself to here. And that's how you know that what had you down here can push you to the top. That's what those things can do. Take your mess, as I've heard before, and it's not my quote, but take your mess and turn it into a message. What you may have went through can bring somebody out of what they're going through right now in their life. What you have been through can stop somebody from going through something they may go through if they had not heard your testimony. Don't be afraid to tell somebody about your struggles and what you had going on in your life. I remember a time when I was in a toxic relationship, and it had me very stressed out, had me very depressed, and I lost a lot of weight, and people that were close to me kind of thought that I was on drugs, that I was doing real hard drugs, that I lost so much weight, but it wasn't. It was the people that I dealt with. I'll just say person. The main person that I was dealing with had me so down on myself that I felt like I didn't deserve to feed myself. I didn't deserve to eat. I was punishing myself because of the negativity that person, the influence they had on my life. I would punish my own self, not thinking right in my mind, but because of the toxic situation, I literally lost so much weight that I looked like I had probably might have been on drugs. Some of you may not know that about me because some of you weren't here to see me like that. But due to toxic people that I had in my life at the time, it changed me, and it changed the way I look. It changed the way I view life. But once I broke away from those toxic people, I was able to get back on the right path, and I was able to get to a healthy place spiritually, mentally, and physically. I was able to get back to myself, and not just myself, I would even say a better me, a new me, a me that I didn't know, that I didn't even see coming because of that situation. And I know that my story of that toxic relationship, that toxic dealing with, it wasn't even a relationship, we'll call it a situationship. That toxic situationship changed me, but for the better. It made me see what I absolutely did not want in my life, what I absolutely did not want to accept in my life. It made me see those things, and it changed me, and it pushed me to be a better person. And I'm telling you right now, whatever struggle you may think you have gone through and it may keep you down, don't keep that story to yourself. When I left that toxic situation, I moved to a whole nother city. I didn't have a thing. I had $50. And you know how I got the $50? Because I made the $50. I used to sell body oil. I made that $50. I didn't have a dime. My friend, she said, hey, you can come here. She helped me get a job. I didn't have a place to stay. Another friend of mine let me stay with her. I had $50, my car, my clothes. Okay? Within 2 months, I had my own apartment. Tell me God ain't good. I listen to me again. I had $50, my car, and my clothes, and a job. I had nowhere to stay. Thank goodness I had people who were kind enough to let me live with them. A friend girl of mine, she let me live with her until I was able to save enough money to move into my own apartment. I didn't even have my daughter. My daughter was staying with my mom until I got myself on my feet. She stayed with my mom a year. Okay? And it was hard being away from my daughter. We wasn't that far apart, but not being able to touch her, I have to drive to be able to get to her. That was difficult, but I had to do it because I knew I needed something better. I knew I wanted something better for me and my daughter. And I had to go through that time of darkness to be able to see what the light was, to be able to enjoy with sunshine, with days that were no rain. I had to go through those dark times to really appreciate what those times are. So wherever you are in your life, don't compare yourself to anybody. Your struggle is your story. Your mess is your message to be able to help someone else get out of it or prevent someone from getting into it. Don't hide your story. Speak up, stand up, and tell what you went through and talk about how you overcame what that was. Because you don't know who life that you might save. You don't know who life you might change because of what you went through. And it may seem hard now. It may feel like, don't nobody love me, God don't love me. It may feel like that sometimes. And it may feel like you're alone, but I'm here to tell you that you're not by yourself. You're not the only one that went through that. You're not the only person that overcame that. So, with that being said, tell your story. Tell your story to anyone that will listen to your story. Tell it to them. Tell them how you came out. Tell them how you was down. Tell them how you climbed and crawled to the top. How you clawed your way. Skin, tooth, and nail. How you did it. With sweat in your eyes. Tell them how you did it so that you can save someone else. Another young woman, another young man. Tell your story. Thanks, guys. Once again, I'm Takesha. I'm just here exercising my right as American and speaking my mind with that. And that's the freedom that I have. I thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching my videos. Bye, guys.